name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 29, 2025. It is 3:19 a.m. This is video number 2. First video is on PYTE. Go check it out. So let's go on Twitter. Let's see here. What do I have? A good amount. Just some noises that I saw and I thought I'd share them with you. First tweet. Breaking news. Major Meghan Sussex trolls Vanessa Feltz. New show is in crisis with desperately pathetic ratings since the outset, 83,000, and it's tumbled even more since then, 62,000 on Monday this week. Channel 5 bosses are in crisis talks to save this Karen show. She has so many chances. What hole has she got over them? Anyway, it seems Meghan's ancestors are working. So there's that here. I don't know. You guys could pause and read. Okay, so there's that here. Daily Express, Daily Mail. What did it say here? Meghan Markle is torn apart by Vanessa Feltz and stinging with love parody. I don't know the. Oh, I remember sharing a show, some clips from her. That the squad were sharing on X. There's more here. You guys could pause and read it. I think I've shared this on my community board. I don't know. Alright, let's pause this. We all know what tribe she belongs to. They control the media. Even her listening numbers are low at LBC, far lower than Sanjita. Ben had a lucky escape. Okay, so what is this here? 45 seconds. Screenshot.
When she's had a dream, she's quite, aggressive. The way she used to shout at me, the way she used to speak about me and speak to me. You imagine what she would be like behind closed doors. She would say in public, I don't even think you can read.
That's like you being the dog.
My whole personality changed. I was just this black guy who was living off Vanessa. For me, she's a psycho. There's a few things that I let slide. I was told twice that she'd been unfaithful to me by members of her family and her best friend.
If she sees this interview, will she come gunning for you again, do you think?
I couldn't care less.
So there's no love lost between you and Vanessa?
This kind of love rat, cheaty thing that everyone thinks that I am. I'm just so far from it.
How many women did you sleep with?
Oh my god, I don't know anything about that. This just popped up. Okay, good point. And as for the video, this is some tea. There's that, LOL. Go on, comma. We're loving your work. There's that. Bye nasty. There's the B word. Trash all over. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So some of Meghan's haters are going through some stuff, pretty much. Next tweet. So if you guys follow me, usually, well, lately I haven't been too much on X for me to post on my community board, but usually when I happen, if I see something interesting, I'll put it on my community board. Subscribe so you could see some of these things. Okay, next tweet. Talking about multiculturalism while you've bullied your black daughter-in-law, put her life in danger, and made sure your white supremacist supporters went after her is weird. Effing weird. Okay, so that's a retweet. There's some comments. Let's go into it. And okay, it's 2 minutes and 39 seconds. King Charles said Canada has changed immensely since Queen Elizabeth's last speech. Now independent and multicultural, he urged Parliament to collaborate for bold, fair action and affirm the Crown remain a symbol of Canada. I think he should take his own advice, I guess. All right, let's listen. Screenshot, okay?
It has been nearly 70 years since the Sovereign first opened Parliament. In the time since, Canada has dramatically changed. repatriating its constitution, achieving full independence.
Why they look so crumbled in like that? It's like they shoved them in. But anyway, let's listen.
And witnessing immense growth. Canada has embraced its British, French, and Indigenous roots and become a bold, ambitious, innovative country that is bilingual, truly.
But he's not even standing up to it. Well, then again, I guess this is their way. Okay.
Multicultural and committed to reconciliation. The Crown has for so long been a symbol of unity for Canada.
Now I see why they mentioned about his daughter-in-law. Unity should not even come out of his mouth here because he's not showing it. For his own son. He's not willing to give his own son security. I think Harry does more with what he's saying here, especially the last Invictus in Canada, with the First Nation, showing respect and everything. Oh, that reminds me as well. There was a time they went to Canada, him and his side piece, with one of those, I don't know which, I don't know if it's First Nation or the native were singing. Him and his horse were laughing at them. But whatever, whoever voted for him to read is just to put a bandage on things. Let's continue.
It also represents stability and continuity from the past to the present. As it should, it stands proudly as a symbol of Canada today in all her richness and dynamism. When
you know, I'm laughing because there was a speech he was doing. He was like, oh god damn, there's more. Oh bloody, there's more. I'll show you the thumbnails where it is. I don't have that video by itself for me to put it, but that's just remind me of that.
ever since God almighty, they've done 2 pages of this bloody thing. Right. Anyway, I must say it is a real pleasure to have this chance to.
He's probably thinking of that same thing.
My dear late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, opened a new Canadian Parliament in 1957. The Second World War remained a fresh, painful memory. The Cold War was intensifying. Freedom and democracy were under threat. Canada was emerging as a growing economic power and a force for peace in the world. In the decades since, history has been punctuated by epoch-making events. The Vietnam War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the War on Terror. Today, Canada faces another critical moment. Democracy, pluralism, the rule of law, self-determination, and freedom are values which Canadians hold dear, and ones which the government is determined to protect. The system of open global trade that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for Canadians for decades, is changing. Canada's relationships with partners are also changing.
Oh, anyway, just when I was just getting tired of it, it's done. Multicultural is not good. Why? There's worse for worse, like Zionism. Okay, it's very true what he says. So he's sitting there saying we're independent, huh? Okay, Charles is okay with multiculturalism as long as the people aren't related to him. There's that. Let's go back. All right. One thing I was thinking, when you look at, especially in America, New York, for instance, I mentioned this a couple times. The way Trump is doing things, New York does not feel the same way anymore. When you go, let's say, Chinatown or Times Square, that vibe, that connection, that excitement, people, you see the joy, it's not there anymore. Because he removed these people that makes America what it was and put his... You will have to go, or people who have been there, you tell me, when you go to those spots in New York, Chinatown, Times Square, or different areas that you've seen very vibrant, the vibrant is not there anymore. Even before, I think many Chinese people, they were kicking them out from Chinatown in Manhattan. I think they moved somewhere in Queens or something like that. When you go there, that's where the excitement is there. Okay, you see different groups there. There's Black, Hispanics. That's where, I don't think you see they highlight these areas, on TV anymore. Well, not even anymore, but it's not like a place where they will show on TV for you to go visit. They maintain they take over Manhattan, New York City, okay, but they remove the group of people that make it so vibrant, that will make you want to go there. But I used to work around there. When I pass by Chinatown and Manhattan, I don't feel the same vibrant anymore. There used to be vendors. There are some still, but not as many. Vendors selling, fresh fruit, vegetables, you name it, on the sidewalk. It was so vibrant. At least I don't feel the same vibrant kind of thing anymore. Okay, darling, His Majesty doesn't have a black daughter-in-law, one white and one half caste. Okay, they don't have a black. Okay, so that they are here. I don't want to read any more of these. Let's move on. You see what's on the screen. You could pause and read it. Next tweet, and I think it's a video. Let me make sure 94. Okay, I don't want to skip. Okay, so there's Martin. I like to share his video. He sums up everything. The lazy prince and princess of snails on yet, wait for it, yes, you've guessed it, another holiday. Oh, the PR stunt they've done lately must have tired them out. There's the laugh here. Yet another family holiday where they will all be wearing their invisible cloaks. If you know, you know. Thank you, as always, Martin, for lazy people. That's from Hello Magazine. Lazy people. Prince William and Kate Willis' statement during family holiday after tragic event. What tragic? Did someone die? There was an accident or something? The Prince and Princess of Wales expressed their sadness in a joint message. Okay, let's see what Martin has to say. I don't know. Maybe there was a tragic thing happen.
Morning friends, happy Wednesday, how you doing? And in the biggest surprise since water is wet, the sky is blue, grass is green, we're finding out today from Hello that William and Kate are on yet another family holiday. And you just cannot make this stuff up, literally, because it's taken a national security incident in Liverpool for this information to be released by Hello.
Okay, so there was an accident, so the tragic, making reference to the tragic, okay.
Because there has to be some explanation on why these two cannot visit a city that's currently in shock. Now, thankfully, if you've seen the Liverpool coverage all over the media, thankfully, people are injured. No one has left this planet as a result of it, but it's still...
Is it what they're making reference to? I mean, I didn't go too deep into it, but I saw it. Wasn't there someone who ran its car onto someone? Onto a group of people? Let me see. Let me pause for a second. So that's what he's making reference to in terms of the tragic thing. Suspect and I type in Google, what is the recent tragic in the UK May 2025? Suspect in Liverpool soccer parade tragedy held in custody. So I saw something like that. Let me see. So there was a parade and someone ran into the public, whatever, the people. All right, so that was, I mean, there's some mental issues that's going on with these people. They need help because every time they behave is in carnage. They don't think logically. All right, so that's that. So I guess they won some sort of a football. I didn't watch all of this, but I did see something, some tweets about that. Okay, 2 days ago. So there's that. Now, back to X. Alright, so that was the tragic. Let's continue.
With over 40 people hospitalised, 4 of them in a really serious condition, you would have thought that the hard-working, not British royal family would have sent at least one representative to the city. But no, Kate and William, on holiday yet again, have to do the usual thing of writing a couple of sentences about how sorry they are. Not deeds, just words. The opposite of what the suffragettes literally gave their lives for in the UK. It's just madness. It is just literal, absolute madness how lazy these people are and how the rest of the royal family, to be honest, aren't that much lazier. Comments are open as ever. Let me know what you think.
You have to wonder also, their advisors. Who are the people who's advising them to say, okay, this is not the time to go on vacation. At least show up and do something. So men in gray suit, like I've said this in the past, they're not for the royal family. Yes, the royal family wants to hear things that they want to hear, so they give it to them. But some of the things that they're advising them are self-destruction. So who is advising them to say this is the perfect time to go on vacation? Instead of maybe take a day or two, one day William go and check the hospital, and then 2 days later Kate will go. Because I think I have a tweet where Anne went to the hospital. I don't know if it's for the same thing. I think I have it next. I just moved it. Well, let's read some of the comment. No, Princess Anne visited the hospital yesterday for 30 minutes to thank the emergency response staff. But hey, look like all the donkey work is left to Anne and Edward. Wink, William and Kate have overextended themselves in the past 2 weeks, so need another break. It is also half term. Okay. I mean, for a few minutes, I think the half term is making reference to the school. Maybe the kids are in a break. I don't know. But, okay, just one day is not gonna hurt the kids. Okay, one of the parents, I don't even think they're living together. Plus, they have babysitters. Even if they go together, maybe one at a time, because many of them don't want others take away their spotlight. One day, William goes, and then the next day, Kate goes, or vice versa, whichever goes first. All right, and then after that, they could go on their vacation. Did they show at all? I seen that half an hour, oh my word. It's only because she was here to see a ship, so not as though she went out of her way, to be honest. Aha. Okay. If she's making reference to Anne, it doesn't matter. She showed up. Okay. Not that I'm making any excuse. She showed up. She showed up. Okay. How much longer is the UK press and people going to keep making excuses for this lazy pair of wankers? Okay. Holiday again. Well, I'll be damned. They really don't give a F. They don't. Princess Anne carried the weight today. I don't know what they will do once she retires or passes. She can only pick up the slack so much. So much. I bet you if Harry stopped by and then go check this the victim of this, that's when William gonna feel like this is something he should do. This is the thing. There's always the opportunity for him to show himself. He never did. Okay? But only if Harry's doing something, that's when he wanna do it. But not even do it. Just spend money, make people write about that he did. I don't know. Give a 5-second speech while using notes was hard enough, but pushing that switch was way too much for Wade. How does she do it? Grueling. You know, I'm sort of blaming the advisors, whoever's advising them, to think this is the good PR. Alright, have you ever seen people with access to so much wealth and influence look so damn old and worn out? What illness has this entire group contracted? Maybe it's genetics. They all look like they have been working laborious job their entire lives, and we all know that's a lie. But to keep up with those lies is a lot of work. The thing is that they don't want to do the sensible, the easy, the reality of things. They prefer to manufacture. So when you manufacture things, you know that's not you. It's a lot of work. So it eating on them to pretend to be this and you're not. And this is the difference between them and Harry and Meghan. They're showing their true self, but when Harry is showing, when the Sussexes are doing that thing authentically, they don't believe it. The derangers. So I don't know. The derangers prefer manufacture stuff, fake stuff. So the royal family is catering to that, to them, with fake stuff. And it's a lot of work. It's eating them inside because they can't really, they don't want negative coverage. All they want is positive coverage. But when they're doing that thing, they're aiming toward the positive coverage. But at the same time, when people is seeing with their own 2 eyes, they're seeing the fake, the inauthentic things that they're doing. So it becomes a lot of work for them. And then when the true headline is being written about them, they hate it because what they were aiming for is not what is being written. I mean, they could still manage the group of medias that they control to manufacture the headlines for them. But when people like the Squad or anybody else with an independent mind talking about them, they see the inauthentic version of themselves, they call them out. It's eating them. If they just take the time to just be themselves, You're not gonna be perfect. They put in their head they're perfect. No human being is perfect. So they're crafting, they're moving around in life in a control way so they could show they are perfect when nobody on this earth is perfect. They don't want people to see the inauthentic, the little whatever things that's not authentic in them. But and the worst thing is when people are telling them. Harry literally have told them so many ways of doing things. I mean, sometimes when Harry does some speech, and I think he's literally talking to his family, but they don't get the note to say, okay, let me follow, let me be myself, let me do this and things. But they keep on repeating the same BS over and over again. They know their BS, people are not buying it and it doesn't work. But nope, they continue doing it over and over again. I don't know. All right, Will and Frills are taking there's the P word here. But they know darn well that they are protected by the British media. Okay, I saw that at least Princess Anne has visited the injured in the hospital. These two can't be bothered. This is what I'm saying. Who is advising them? Because I remember, didn't they hire a guru guy? Is the guru guy still there to say, okay, what you're doing here will not work well for the public? Go show up, show your face for a few minutes. All right. Well, then again, when you think about it, if they cannot do it authentically, it's best not to show at all. But they don't care. Okay, let's all have a great laugh. Alright, so this is a screenshot from the Daily Fair. There is a way back for Harry and Meghan, but it's a hard path. A top psychologist revealed the 9 steps they need to take to make up the royals. Oh Lord, I think I responded to that. They really don't get it. Let's see here. They will never get it because they can't understand. 1, let's make it this bigger. 1, how Harry and Meghan have survived 5 years on their own. 2, why they aren't begging to come back. Amen. And they pick pictures where Harry and Meghan are looking totally happy and not interested in coming back. The reason that this person made this comment, because not too long ago in one tweet, I don't remember what the headline was about, but it's a picture of William, and the squad were raising that why did the paper pick the worst picture of William? They probably don't like him. So here they're picking pictures where Harry, there's Harry and Meghan enjoying themselves or happy and everything. So in comparison to William, literally no one ever. I'm a firm believer that the cousins are not close to William anymore, and certainly not close to Kate. Zara and Sophie used to be pictured chumming it up with Kate to stick it to Meghan, and that's all promptly stopped. There's a picture I remember seeing. Was it the garden one? Where William threw a garden party? And you could see Eugenie's face. She wasn't too happy. But there was another picture, not the same event. It probably prior to the garden party. And I think William, the cousins were there. I think it was a little bit after where they saw Eugenie and the Netflix thing. You didn't see her face fully, but she was there in the Netflix documentary. And when I saw the picture of the cousins and William, and I feel like, and I think I said it in the video, is that they're making them choose a side. Okay? Either them or Harry. And I did point that out, and I was like, I think they will not be making, especially Eugenie, will not be making any public appearance with Harry, but in the background might be slightly different. They probably still remain close, but because of the jealousy of the other brother, they probably made her choose a side. But knowing, those girls, these women, they never really experienced the hardship. So based on what the institution is doing to Harry, I don't think they'll be able to handle it, unlike Harry. So they decided in my humble opinion, to take William's side, but on the surface for the public, not showing to be in the same event or same picture frame with Harry, so they don't get the other brother upset, so the other brother don't unleash the same kind of hate and unnecessary burden that he's doing to his own brother. I sort of raised it in one of the, when I saw the picture, that's what came to mind, and I was like, this is just for the facade to please the brother, but in the background they probably talk every day, you know, on the phone or whatever. It's just that they're not making public appearances, Harry and the cousin, you know, so they don't trigger the brother. The brother is jealous about everything. Okay, I have not even seen Kate and Sophie speak to each other directly in the last year and a half. Okay, the British media and the other royals need 9 steps to let go. It's getting creepy at this point. Laughing at my ass off, perfectly said. Why will they ever go back there? Because there are delusional people who still think being a part of royalty means you made it in life. And that is true. Meaning that the believers. Harry and Meghan have more bathroom too, there's the word here, and then take steps to reconcile. In addition, they don't want to, so yeah, this person, who is that? She tagged that person, had a good laugh. Okay, LOL, they have 50 to be exact. It will be hard for them to ever want to go back. Yeah, after what Harry have experienced, where he could do whatever he wants and things like that, he's not going back. They only ever wanted to go back to visit and for charity work, and so their kids could have an understanding of their British heritage. They never ever wanted to go back to work. All right, and then let's not forget, William kicked him out. So there's my comment here. Oh, somebody liked it. These people, the Daily Fell type of people, are not human. They don't understand human emotion or anything humane. They are a bunch of savages. They are mentally unstable, human level. The Meghan harvesting bees with her baby girl counter narrative got them pressed, but they gotta convince everyone that she wants back in the gilded cage. Laughing my ass off. The psychologists got their degree from Groupon. I'm telling you, when it comes to mental issues, in my humble opinion, no psychologist in the UK should ever touch or treat anyone in that island. The psychologists have to come outside of the UK, because if all this stuff is happening, anyone with well-minded, you know, and that level of education, psychology and stuff, don't say anything. They don't need to treat anybody. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next tweet. So let's see here. It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay, 1, nervous gulping of air usually occurs when about to tell a massive lie. 2, let's see these graphs. 3, how do LBC get that data? 4, if the data is good enough for hiring and firing purposes, why should the public rate RAJAR data? Okay, I don't know what is this. Usually when it's O'Brien, I like to listen to him, so that's why I put it on the list. Okay, but let's see. 2 minutes and 9 seconds, screenshot.
What happened to Sangeeta, even at LBC? You know,
no, that's just Rolex, mate. And I mean, you can say it because you've got free speech, but that's just crap.
Thank you.
All right. We all sit in. I'll tell you something, because it bores me rigid, this, and I can't believe that certain people have allowed this lie to be perpetuated. We sit in a room every 3 months. Every single person that works here, we sit in a room every 3 months. They show us graphs of how our program is performing. Right? Everybody knows when someone's vulnerable. And it's not the graph of what audience you inherit when you come on air. It's a graph of how your audience falls or rises during the duration of your program. Every single person in this building sits in that room and watches a graph for every single program every 3 months. All right?
I don't want to get off topic.
No, you said it. You can't backtrack now, mate. You have decided. You have decided to believe something that isn't true, and the only person that can prove to you that it isn't true has decided to stay silent and allow people like you to believe slurs and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about her former colleagues. So
I didn't make an anti-Semitic slur or anything.
yes, you are. You're claiming that someone has been censored or silenced when they haven't.
But that's not anti-Semitic. How's that anti-Semitic? That in itself is what's wrong with everything.
Okay, mate. I am setting the record straight on something, okay? And the idea that somebody would be silenced for being critical of Israel during a phone-in that is heavily critical of Israel is palpably absurd. You can dispute the fact that it's anti-Semitic. That's my opinion. And that is my freedom of speech that I am exercising, just as you are exercising yours. But if you choose to come on this program and tell lies about every single one of my colleagues, I will push back, okay? And that is what you are doing. I sympathise with you because the lies have been deliberately allowed to fester by somebody who can only answer for their own conduct. But it is lies, okay? Yeah. And if you want to come on this program again, you are more than welcome.
Okay, I understand, Brian. The people who's in the background, they know what's going on. Look at, was it in this video where one of Meghan's haters' show is not doing too well? Okay, on the facade, to the public, they could say, oh, everything is fine. But deep inside, in the background, like O'Brien was saying, they usually sit down, okay, their colleagues sit down to analyze their show, their respective shows, to see how it's going, how the public is receiving it, who's listening, who's not listening, and the numbers pretty much. So they know deep inside what's going on, but they rather put lies for the people to eat, and eventually more people will stay away and their numbers will go down, and they will the only choice they will have is to cancel the show, because having a show, even if they're telling lies that the show is perfect or whatever, but if people are not watching and they're wasting their time putting a show that's not, people are not watching, they're losing money. Okay, it all comes down to money. They could say as much lies as they want. The show is popular, the show is great, it's the best show ever, whatever, but they see the numbers deep inside. And it all boils down to money. If people are not watching, no matter how much lies they're putting out there, force feeding people lies, but if whatever they're showing, they're wasting time and energy, is not converting to dollar sign, they're not gonna continue it. All right, they're under no obligation to show you the graphs. Nobody said they were. Classic O'Brien tried to shut something down. He was very uncomfortable talking about with its racism. I understand him. I don't think he was saying anything about racism. The guy brought up the issue about graphs or whatever. So he's telling you, like I just said, deep inside, they know when they sit down, they're looking at the numbers, okay, analyzing the show, if the show is not working. But anyway, I think it's much more than that, okay, because I think he said something about Israel and all of that. So let me leave that alone. Next one. Oh my God, it's almost 4 o'clock. I need to finish or at least start editing. Henry VIII. It's been fascinating to watch other royal households take meaningful strides toward modernity, while the British seems determined to go in the opposite direction. Just like the US, MAGAs, Make America Great, go back to old time, more financial opacity, fewer public engagement. So she retweeted that. They're also unrelatable to their own people. They needed to change with time and instead went in the opposite direction. Okay, I mean, what is it? There's a video I have with Anne was being interviewed just when, did the Queen die? I think the Queen had already passed. And they were asking her about what kind of a king Charles will be. Here's the video.
As we're in this moment of transition, I think it's not unnatural that people are having conversations about the monarchy and the place of the monarchy in various countries, Canada included. And some of the recent polling is suggesting that there is a drop in the percentage of people who would like to see the monarchy continue. How do you deal with that as a family?
Well, we don't, in many respects, need to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Not least of all because it is the monarch that is the key to this, and the constitution that underpins the monarchy. We as a family see ourselves there as to support that role, what we do, we hope, contributes to the monarchy and the way in which it can convey continuity of not just interest, but of service, of understanding, the way that people and communities want to live their lives. And I think so often we get the chance to see communities and the people who do things really well and are very generous with their time in a way that, if you look at the media, you tend not to get that impression.
Are there conversations about relevance?
There will be everywhere. It's not a conversation that I would necessarily have. I think it's perfectly true that it is a moment when you need to have that discussion. But I would just underline that the monarchy provides, with the Constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting, because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. You know, he is committed to his own level of service. That will remain true.
They don't want to modernize. Okay? The cosplay in both arenas. The characteristic that will be part of their downfall is the British royal family behave as if they do everything better than everyone else and that they're the gold standard. If you don't do what they're doing, you're a failure. Funny how all other royal households seems to have a minimum scandal and their family is intact. There's some scandal. It's just that I think they don't have the squad, like, you know, who will be talking about it. And many of us don't speak the other languages like Spanish and Dutch, because there were some scandal that came out over Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Because I start looking into, I think, was it the Dutch? Who's the current king? Frederick, whatever. There's some scandal there too. At least I was able to find it. And their son, the heir right now, there were some issues at school. And then for the Spanish, the grandfather, he was missing for a couple days and money were missing. I mean, there's scandal. There is scandal, okay? That few moments, I took a peek. Okay, I was able to see all of that. And then I stepped right back out. They're probably happy that I'm not talking about them. All right? Because I don't look deeper into that thing. Because I'm sure I would have found so much. And that was about the other one. The South African one with the French guy, whatever. There's issues there as well. All right? Even if it's just on the outside. And that they... all right. Where was that? Let's go back. Put it there. Funny how all other royal households seem to have minimal scandal and their families intact, even if it's just on the outside, and that they don't seem intent on destroying other members of their family to pop up whoever is the heir. But with the royal family, the UK royal family, this is something they ingrained. It was systematic. They did it deliberately to create that division. Alright, they failed to do the least expected of them, like they don't understand their roles. Charles in Canada made a statement, and in Liverpool visited the hospital, but the Wells on another vacation released a statement and no visit. Now, if they go, it'll seem they were shamed into it. What is that? Kate released statement during family holiday after tragic event. The Prince and Princess of Wales expressed their sadness in a joint message. So why did they say it's Kate? Okay. Alright, it's both of them, Kate and William. Alright, I was gonna say, why will it be only Kate? Alright, so I didn't see the rest. Okay, Prince William and Kate released statement during their family holiday after tragic event. They make sure to say family event, holiday. Okay, the royal family is robbing the UK taxpayers. Look what's happening in the US. Properties in the Middle East. Let me read. This is my opinion, okay? The royal family is robbing the UK taxpayer. £132 million this year from the sovereign grant, no inheritance, estate taxes paid, while making money off air rights, the NHS Council that could have helped their communities while they use the tabloid press to push the lie they use for. Some of it simply because the Queen of Denmark, Netherlands, and Spain had a whole career and life on their own merit, and it shows in their speech and their advocacy. The Brits have Camilla and Kate entire personality based on who they marry. That's a very good point. What is it? Queen Letizia, I think that's her name. In Spain, I think she was, what is it? Financial something? Let me look it up. So this is what I wrote on Google. What was Queen Letizia of Spain occupation before married into the royal family? I can't believe I remember her name. Alright, before marrying into the Spanish royal family, Letizia Ortiz Ocasolano, now Queen Letizia, was journalist. Why did I think she was a business? For some reason I thought I was seeing banking and all of that, but she was a journalist. She worked as a news anchor and broadcast journalist for various Spanish news outlets. Alright, so that was her thing here. Are there any images of her doing her work? Oh, there she is here. Okay. There she is here. Okay, doing her work here. A couple times I see the squad raising, she threw a little nod here of Meghan. Okay. There she is here. I mean, she's getting older. Okay. Very interesting. Let's see here. 2000. Okay. 2005. Okay. 2008. 2023. That's when they got married. Okay. She look almost like she is now when they got married. So he knew what he wanted. From my understanding, there were some issues between the grandmother and her regarding the kids. There were some images that were popping up where they were fighting somewhere in church. I don't know. So there's scandal everywhere. Okay, there is scandal. Back to this. All right. So she was a journalist. Some of it simply because the Queen of Denmark, Netherlands, and Spain had a whole career and life on their own merit, and it shows in their speech and their advocacy. The Brits have Camilla and Kate entire personality based on who they marry. Okay, imagine really holding down a real job. After all, King Willem Alexander was an airline pilot. Oh, I didn't know that. And of course, his brother was a real soldier. Okay, and I repeat this often for the British royals are ridiculously undereducated, both for the role and compared to other royals. Their education is also rather insular, while many European royals were educated abroad. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of their daughters, okay, one of their daughters went to school in, what do you call this, in the UK somewhere. Okay, let me pause for a second. Okay, so this is what I wrote on Google. I always have to question Google. All right, is Queen Letizia of Spain daughter went to school in the UK? The answer is yes. Infanta Sofia, the daughter of Queen Letizia of Spain, attended the UWC Atlantic College in Wales, UK. She graduated from the school in May 2025. Oh, she just graduated after studying for her international baccalaureate diploma. Okay, is there any picture of her graduation? So it was her. Is she the first, the heir to the throne, or is she the youngest? Okay, we shall find out. Okay, which one was her name? Oh, they said the youngest. There it is. It's right there. The youngest daughter. So it's the youngest. And the other day I saw a picture of one of the daughters wear like military uniform. So they doing that thing. And one of the things I say about the UK royals, they should, if they go to college, do some things with financial something, because it seems like they don't know how to manage their money. All right, they had they're still and stubborn. A lot of European royal family are younger, female-led, travel more, and don't act like statues. Okay, they had a moment in which they added modernity to the firm with the addition of Meghan, backdoor shenanigans, power play, the old guard, and the voter pretty much destroyed that. Until the old guard goes away and William's envy and jealousy subside, things are not going to change. I agree with that 100%. Okay, Queen Elizabeth II, inertia and misplaced sense of duty, followed by her stuffy son's vanity and obsession with tradition, pomp, and ceremony, had held the country back for 70 years. Media fawning has compounded the issue and fertilized the British people. This I blame the media. Okay, this is the media's fault, holding, like Harry said, the royal family a trap.
I'm acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are of the tabloids turning on them.
Turning on them for what? They're the royal family.
Yes, but it's there is this invisible, what's termed or referred to as the invisible contract behind closed doors between the institution and the tabloids, UK tabloids.
How so?
Well, it is to simplify it, it's a case of if you as a family member are willing to wine, dine, and give full access to these reporters, then you will get better press.
What do you care about better press if you're royal?
I think everyone needs to have some compassion for them in that situation, right? There is a level of control by fear that has existed for generations. My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
This was systematic. From the time the Queen's father died, the media was inching in to take control. Alright? You see what's happening in the US? Each time the US is moving forward, okay? Let's say it's the multicultural that we're pushing the US to move forward. When they realize that, look what Trump is doing. He wants to go back. Okay? He didn't hold back. He didn't keep it a secret. He literally said he wants to go back, and he's acting on it. They're going back. So that the only group that did not buy what the media was buying are black people. And this is one of many reasons they hate black people. Not only they had their sense of racism toward black people, but that add to it, because each time they try to brainwash black people's mind, they're not buying it. Okay? So there's much more to it. I know some people say, I don't know if it's derangers or choose people who watch my videos who say, sometimes I don't understand. It's really hard to explain many of these things that's happening because they actually literally playing right in front of us. But so many people are not only blind to see it, but the noise that the media is putting out there is in their subconscious and blind the people. Many people don't see it. Unlike, I don't see everything, but at least some of the things that I said, okay, you could go back to some of my old videos, let's say from the beginning. When I first started recording things, once I started getting into politics and talking about things that I was seeing, tell me if some of those things that I've said in the past, what is happening now? Okay? It's not like I have a crystal ball. They're literally playing out in front of us. Their behavior, their action, things that they say. So many people just let it be and say, they're not gonna do that, they're not gonna do that. And then once they get the chance to do it, they're actually doing it. Some people are shocked. I'm like, why are you shocked? He literally told you, you've seen his past behavior and he's acting on it. All of a sudden you're shocked. Why are you surprised? But anyway, let's leave that alone. I could go on and on and on. Alright, next tweet. Now this has to do with Invictus. Okay, I need to finish 2 more tweets. Alright, let's pause. Prince Harry, the one and only, Princess Diana's son, after her own heart, her legacy, Meghan Sussex devoted, loyal, loving husband, Prince Archie, and Princess Elizabeth's dedicated father, the people's prince chosen by God, destiny to be great and to do great things, Prince Harry. Oh my God, I was blocking a whole bunch of derangers here because the comment was ridiculous. I blocked many of them already. Okay, oh yeah, really? That they are here. We see what the work that Harry is doing. He didn't have to do any of the thing that he's doing. Amen. Princess Diana's son, after her own heart, her legacy. You mean the spare? That's what she called him. Okay, it is. Princess Diana was fully aware that the institution wasn't gonna give Harry the fair share and was training him to be a self-sufficient, and this is what it is. Harry can't even think of him for himself. Oh God. Okay, so there's more. They popped up 2 hours ago, but I blocked many before. All right, let's listen to this and then go to the next tweet. 1 minute and 9 seconds screenshot. I think that was you in the Invictus Canada.
And as someone that you roped in early on in my time as Prime Minister, I can testify to the energy, the dedication, the commitment this man has to you and to this ideal. You have changed the lives of so many people for the better, and for that, we all owe you the deepest debt of gratitude. Thank you, Harry.
Harry's holding the tears. Alright, so that's pretty much that. It's almost done.
Thank you again for a captivating, mesmerizing, and memorable week of sporting excellence. Best of luck. We'll see you in Birmingham in 2027. Thank you. Merci, mes amis.
Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Now, this has to do with Sentebale. I don't know the truth behind it. I'm only sharing just because it's there. Free Sentebale. Alright, this is what's being reported. There should be a media statement from Sentebale. It looks like what I suspect is happening. Sophie was a decoy lane, was always going to take over. This has Prince William written all over it. I won't be surprised if he swoop in and become patron. Alright, let's just say allegedly because I don't see this being talked about any other place. I was gonna share it on my community board, then I was like, let me not share it because I didn't see it anywhere, but I'm only sharing it here. As of May 26, 2025, Sophie Shanduka is no longer the chairman of Sentebale. Recent reports indicate that she stepped down from her role as chair of the board, with Sentebale announcing her departure and a statement citing her decision to step down out of respect for her other professional commitment. Lane Wallenson has been appointed as the new chair of Sentebale, with Dr. Bakidi Hensoti and other trustee remaining on the board. Okay, let's just say allegedly because I didn't see it any other place. Alright, there's discredit here. This isn't true. It's just what social media is saying. She's still listed as chair, but she did remove Sentebale from her LinkedIn, which was suspicious. Okay, let's leave it as that. Let's put allegedly. Next tweet. Okay, I don't know what this is about. Oh, this is a story that might be by itself. It's something that happened in the US that has nothing to do with the royal family. Alright, this white patient was supposed to have a kidney transplant, said he will not let a black surgeon touch him. He was asked to sign, which he did. Oh, this person, I've seen this this story before. I think it was a black doctor who was gonna perform the surgery. Okay, when the doctor heard the patient saying he doesn't want a black doctor to touch him, anything black, okay, he didn't want it. So what the doctor said is that, okay, they write something and said, can you put it in writing? Okay, that's what it was. put it in writing. And then he did. Okay, so this person then mentioned that. All right, so let's start all over. This white patient was supposed to have a kidney transplant, said he will not let a black surgeon touch him. He was asked to sign, which he did, and stated he did not want service from any blacks. Okay, that's when the doctor asked him to put it in writing. So that's what this part here. Now he's suing the hospital after they move him down the list because the kidney, continue here, belong to a black person, so they are not giving it to him. The joke right themselves, don't they? All right, and that it continued. The case was apparently dismissed by a black judge guy. People are laughing. All right, he wants nothing to do with black people, but he carried the case. Okay, he carried the case. Go meet black judge. All right, that's 12 seconds. Oh, that's the laugh here. Okay, the story is too funny. The hospital self no get joy. Okay, they sharply move him down the list. Be like, he no really need the kidney. Okay, he doesn't really need the kidney. They were only following his instruction. Yeah, they made him put it in writing. Okay, saw it on TikTok. Was so unbelievable. I had to Google it and was shocked it was true. So let's see here. Okay, guess who he will meet on Judgment Day? A black god. That is true. That is true. The shock on his face when he gets to hell, he gets Fargo for racism. All right, let's listen to this and that'll be it.
Please tell me, you guys have heard the story about the man in Louisiana who rejected the head surgeon for his kidney transplant because the surgeon was black. Oh, this story is too good. So apparently when the patient found out who his doctor was, he said, and I quote, "I prefer to have a white doctor. I don't want any black person touching or helping or assisting or cutting me open while I'm going through this process." The head doctor went to the patient and said, "Are you sure?" The patient apparently said, "Yes, I don't want your kind touching or helping me during this process." The doctor said, "Can I have that in writing?" The patient was also happy to do.
Okay, that's what I was aware. That the tweet did not mention it. I read another tweet a while back, but there it is here. He's saying it about the doctor asking him to put it in writing. Let's continue. Let me move it back slightly.
Also happy to do. Then the doctor left the room. A few moments later, a white doctor, a colleague of the head surgeon, came in to inform the patient that he's been bumped down the list because the kidney he was going to receive was coming from an African American. Apparently the patient is now trying to sue. But either way, I love karma.
Okay, so he didn't finish the rest about the judge and things like that. But okay, so that's it. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for prosperity, I guess. Okay, pray for prosperity and protection. Father, bless me so that I may prosper in all the things I do in life. I shall prosper financially, spiritually, and health-wise by your will. Oh God, I pray you also protect me so that I will live a long and fruitful life. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better